Before we go to My Laverne to cover how to submit your grades, I am going to cover some important catalog policies to assist you with grading. All the information I'm providing is in the University of La Verne catalog. Grading. Grading will open the Friday prior to the last week of classes. Grades must always be submitted by midnight of the 6th workday after the official last day of the term. Grades not submitted on time will need to be manually submitted on the official change of grade form. Grades submitted to the Office of the Registrar are considered final. Students cannot submit additional coursework after the official last day of the term to complete the course or improve their grade. Submit a grade of WF for all students who stopped attending class prior to the last day to withdraw from the course. You must enter the last date the student stopped attending a class or stopped participating in an online course. The correct format to enter the date is 2 digits for the month, 2 digits for the day, and 4 digits for the year. This is a requirement for the Department of Education. Students who stop attending a class after the last date to withdraw earn a grade of F. Incomplete grades. Incompletes are only authorized when A. It is impossible for the student to complete the course because of illness or other justifiable extenuating causes. B. The student has successfully completed all coursework up to the last day to withdraw in the semester or term. Both conditions must be met. This applies to all courses that meet on a regular basis. Students must initiate the request for the grade of INC. An incomplete contract must be submitted on My Laverne with a date all coursework must be completed. Completion date must be prior to the ending date of the next term or semester with the exception of spring. Spring incompletes must be completed by the end of the following fall term. In-progress grades. In-progress grades are reserved for directed studies, independent studies, fieldwork, senior projects, and graduate culminating activities. These are all courses that are assumed to take longer than a semester or a term to complete all coursework. Now let's go to My Laverne to demonstrate the submission of grades. I have logged into My Laverne and I'm going directly to the Faculty Services cabinet/menu. I am going to select Final Grades. As we have done in previous sessions, I will need to click on the Select Term link for the term I will be submitting grades for. Once this is done, I will need to click on the Select CRN link for the course I want to submit my grades for. Now I am at the actual page for grade submission on the final grade worksheet. You should see a list of students for the CRN you have selected. Each student will have a box with a pull-down menu to select the appropriate grade. You can either click on the selected grade or use your Enter key to select. Verify the grade is correct and continue repeating the process for all students. Do not skip any students. You must submit a grade for all students. Skipping a student will not provide a service to them. The Office of the Registrar will send emails to faculty who skip students until a grade is manually submitted. If your class has a large number of students enrolled, I suggest that you submit your grades often to ensure you do not lose any information. The Submit button is at the bottom of the page. You can log in as many times as you want to submit and change grades until the grading period has closed. As soon as the open grading period has closed, the Office of the Registrar processes the grade to allow students to view their grades. After the open grading period has closed, all grades must be manually submitted by using the official change of grade form. All undergraduate grade changes are submitted to the Office of the Registrar. Graduate and doctoral grade changes are submitted to the Office of Graduate Services. Students can never have a change of grade form in their hands. Submissions of WF grades must include the last date of attendance. You must submit the last date of attendance with the grade in the correct format of 2 digits for the month, 2 digits for the day, and 4 digits for the year. This is at the top of the grade sheet. If you do not enter a date or enter the date correctly, the system will reject all the grades you have submitted in that session. An error message will be displayed. I am going to submit a WF grade correctly and go back to submit a WF grade incorrectly. I am selecting the WF grade. I am entering the date in the correct date format and will now submit the grade selection. Once I have entered submit, it will go back to the grade sheet. Towards the top of the sheet, there is an orange link that says Submitted Grades. I am going to click on this to see what grades I have successfully submitted. I can now scroll up and down this list to see all the grades I have successfully submitted and those that have not been submitted. Now I am going back to try to submit a WF grade without a date. I will also submit a couple more student grades. I will now go to the Submit button. The page has returned to the Gradesheet worksheet, now with an error message listed on top telling me you have errors on this page. Correct the errors to submit all grades for this record set. I must enter a date. Next to the student's name that I entered the WF grade without a date, there is a statement indicating I need to enter the last date of attendance for this student. If I ignore the message to click on the Submitted Grades link again, you will notice the most recent WF grade I submitted will not be there, nor will any of the other grades I entered at the same time. It is critical that you always click on the Submitted Grades link to verify all grades have been submitted. I suggest that you print this page for your records. Submission of INC grades must include the incomplete contract. The student should initiate the request for a grade of INC by completing the contract on their MyLaverne account. Once the student submits the request for the grade of INC, you will see a designated by their information on the right-hand side that will say View. Click on View to see what the student has entered on the contract. You can deny the request, you can update the contract with additional requirements, or you can just approve the contract. If the contract is approved, the system will now allow you to enter the grade of INC for the student. If you do not approve the request for the INC, deny the request and submit the appropriate grade. The selection of the Approved or Deny button will take you back to the grade worksheet so you can assign the appropriate grade. Again, if you attempt to enter a grade of INC without the contract, the system will give you the error message and reject all the grades you have entered for this session. You can also create an incomplete contract in the student's behalf. Click on the Create button on the right-hand side, and this will again take you to the incomplete contract to complete all the information. Be sure to also submit the contract by selecting the Approved button at the bottom of the page. One final reminder: always keep grade information secured. Do not leave your computer unattended when working on grades, or have your computer situated so that others can view the information you are entering. Grades are not considered public information and must be safeguarded.